Hello, this is Brad Wiseman. You're listening to Real Estate and You. We're back. I'm fresh from Florida and I'm ready to do some real estate talking. We learned so much while we were down there in Florida. We had a great time. It was a KW family reunion, which is like a convention, and had a great time, learned lots of stuff, and I'm really excited to come back and share some of those things with you. And also, we have Justin Perella here in the studio to talk about mortgage stuff, the topics we're going to talk about is debt versus good debt versus bad debt, right? And then also we're going to talk about, what was the other thing too?
Rent versus owning.
Rent versus owning. Yeah, I should know that, right?
Your producer's sitting right there.
Yeah, exactly. He's supposed to cue me. You should have cue cards now, Hugo, okay?
That's right.
Cue cards. So Justin, how you doing, man?
I'm good.
Good.
How you doing?
I'm doing great.
Yeah.
I'm refreshed.
I'll bet.
I really am.
I'll bet.
The weather's really nice down there. I don't know if you know that.
I was just in Tuscaloosa, but it's not the tropics where you were.
No. It was awesome. We had great weather. It was fantastic. The people were nice, and it was nice just to be somewhere amongst a lot of people. I mean, there was probably 10 to 15,000 people in the convention hall, and to see that many people, most of them with, I'd say 99.9% without a mask, which is fine. The people with the mask, I get it. If that's, if you're concerned, it's totally cool. But it was just nice. You see smiling faces.
Well, that's
smiling
2 seconds
faces.
to go over what you said right before the show.
Sure.
You brought up the fact that we haven't seen
Smiles in 2 years. And it's what the guy said. This guy's name was Sean Aker, and it's he's a great author. If you get a chance to read any of his books or something, it's really, really good. And he said that smiles are contagious. Happiness is actually something that you get before success, not after.
Wow, is that a Brad Wiseman quote?
No, it was more of his quote, but basically what he was saying is we all put you always talk about putting the cart before the horse, okay? Yep. We put the cart before the horse when it comes to success. We're always thinking that success or that goal in front of us is going to bring us happiness, okay? Right. It's actually the opposite.
We need to be.
You start with happiness, and that brings you success.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool. Yeah,
but still, smile. So the
smile is very important. Bring that microphone up a little bit towards your mouth. There you go.
Smiles.
There you go.
Thanks.
So let's get started. Let's talk about mortgage stuff. Yeah. First of all, what are the interest rates?
You know what? It's funny because I had a bunch of clients that I needed to lock. And I was about to lock them yesterday, and I didn't make it to the cutoff, 4 p.m. cutoff. So I waited, and today they went down. But they're hovering 4.25.
Okay,
and they're going up. So I don't know what this whole Russia business is going to bring, but again,
it's going to bring volatility. That's what it's going to bring.
Yeah.
I think every day you're going to see a little bit. Unsure. We're unsure about things. We're not sure where this is going to go. I mean, things got a little ugly last night from Russia to Ukraine, whatever, and it's just not good. But it's going to make our country very, very on edge, and you're going to see things go up and down, like you just said. So, which is another good reason, though, to lock in.
Yeah, I'm going, but see, that was where I was trying to tell everybody to lock in before it gets worse. So now it's kind of hovering up and down.
Gotcha.
So just use your best judgment. If you're not a gambler, lock in.
Yeah.
I always say, I don't want you to have to stress every day before you buy, make the most important purchase of your life. So lock in, set it and forget it.
Also, what if you're on the edge of qualifying?
Yeah, well, that's a great point. Because,
you know what I'm saying? Like, what if that quarter point means you don't qualify for the house you just bought?
Yeah, we haven't
or the houses
thought about that in a while. But
no, we haven't.
Now it's coming to fruition. You're
Absolutely.
Right, and that's some of the dangers with getting a pre-approval so early, because we have, with searching for so many homes that aren't available, you pre-approve somebody back in January, December, and the rates were 3.5, and now 4.125, 4.25. You could be priced out. Well, interest rate priced out. Of your home, of that size of home.
Yeah, you might have to adjust your search. You might be looking at a lower price house.
Yeah,
right.
That's very interesting. You brought that up because it just came up yesterday on a conference call I was on.
Well, and also not even that. If I'm looking at 250, and before I had a little bit of play to make an offer over full price to 260, I might not have that play anymore.
Correct.
I might be at 250 and that's it. There's no negotiating. There's no play.
Yeah, with the way the market is, your lender is very important because you have to be flexible and nimble to move those numbers around. So I would say just be a little patient with your lender, just an open communication, because you know firsthand that sometimes you need to go above asking. So where does that cash come from? And that's kind of that segues nicely into the good debt, bad debt.
Good debt, bad debt. This is not a movie. It's actually something for real. Good debt, bad debt. It could be. Absolutely could be.
Can Leo DiCaprio play me?
Absolutely, yeah. Who's going to play? No, wait a minute. Who's playing me then? Let me think. I don't know. Go ahead.
Who's the guy on Billy? No, I'm just kidding.
No, I hope it wasn't somebody bad.
No, it
wasn't. But okay, yeah. So let's talk about this good debt, bad debt.
Yeah. So
what does that mean?
Well, I was thinking, topics for the show, and I was working with a couple of clients lately that they're selling their house and they're getting a good chunk of change, and everybody is under the mindset that you need to put 100%, 50% down, 40% down.
Right.
And prior to being a mortgage rep, I was in the financial industry for 15 years. I was a private banker. So a lot of what I did comes into play now, where I was structuring debt. I was structuring their financial health, basically.
Right,
and making sure they had the avenues that in case something happened, they have cash on hand, they have their long-term goals. So it comes into play here because it's not always the best thing to put 20, 30, 40%. If you have 20%, that right there should be good for any seller. I had a client that wanted to put 50% down because they thought it would win the deal.
Yeah.
But they wound up losing to, a 20,000 over there. So it didn't matter. It was, so what I'm trying to say is, if we can look at your overall financial picture and see that you may have credit card debt, auto loans, all those are considered.
That's the bad debt.
Yeah.
Right?
It could be medical bills. It could be stuff you don't even remember you had. School debt. I mean, I know you don't have to pay that all the time and right away after you graduate, but that's still lingering debt. You got to pay it back eventually.
Usually those rates are pretty good, though.
The student loan debts are.
Usually those are good rates.
Correct. But even in the low interest rate environment, you're still going to get tax deductions off of your mortgage rate. So it may be a little bit higher, but you get rid of it, and it opens up a monthly payment for you. But you're right. That would be one where we take, we take into consideration.
The car one was the big one. I mean, we always talk about mortgages. For every $10,000 you finance, you're looking between $55, $60 a month is what that costs you. Because that's a good thing to know, very good thing to know. Because if you're looking at financing a home and you're looking at different price ranges, is the best thing for you to do is to look and see, okay, what's this $20,000 more going to cost me? Well, you're looking at $110, $120 a month.
Which
with a car,
$400.
Yeah, exactly. So, it's a big difference. So talk about the car thing that you were saying about the car numbers. I think.
So I ran a scenario based on somebody selling a home for, let's say it's your second home. You're looking for your second home. Okay. You have a house it's $200,000 and you're going to net 100 because you've been in there for 5-10 years. You have 50% equity in the house.
Now, when you say second home, everybody, very, very clear.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Not second home. This is your second time you're purchasing your personal residency.
Good call.
Yeah. No, because I was like thinking, why are we talking about second homes?
Your second first home.
Your second primary residence.
So
go ahead. Now I got it.
If you're looking to buy that new house and let's say you net $100,000, that's after you pay realtors and all that good stuff. If you look to put 20% down, that's obviously $60,000 on a $300,000 house. I'm sorry. If you're going to purchase a $300,000 house next, you're moving up the ladder. If you put 20% down, that's $60,000. If you put 30%, somebody's going to say, yeah, well, I want to maximize all that cash I'm getting out. Okay, so if you put 30% down, you're really only saving in the monthly payment around $147 for that $30,000.
Right.
That could be used to pay your ding, ding, ding car off. Let's say you have a $30,000 car balance. It's a little high, but let's just work with me. That would be $555 a month. So you're saving $408 a month.
That's amazing. Yeah, a big difference. Yeah. Huge difference.
Yeah.
And the other thing too is you could put that, I always tell people don't strap yourself. Don't make it to the point where you have zero money in the bank when you buy your house, and all the money you put, let's just say you put that whole $100,000 into purchasing the next house, okay, your second home, second primary residence. So you purchase that, you put all $100,000 in that. Now all of a sudden you get in a house and it needs this or it needs that or now you just spend everything you have. So keep some of that money out. Keep it in a rainy day fund or whatever. Or do you, like you said, if you want to lower your monthly commitments that are going out the door expense-wise, pay off that car, especially if it's somebody that's older and they're going to be on a fixed income. Mm-hmm. Pay that car off and not have that extra payment.
It's one payment.
Exactly.
Get rid of all your debt. Think about how much free cash it opens up to invest.
Yeah.
Maybe you can put that money to work
into something else.
For you.
Exactly. Absolutely.
Yeah. So it was a good exercise.
I like that.
I just did it for somebody.
So good debt, mortgage, bad debt, car, credit cards, all those other things.
Medicals, personal loans. A lot of people have personal loans and there's only $5,000 on it. Yeah, but you're paying $350.
Yeah, and the interest rates are usually pretty crazy on those
use
things.
That money,
too.
just make it go away.
Absolutely. All right, so let's talk about the next topic.
Yeah, rent versus ownership. I don't want to dive too deep in it, but what really opened my eyes was how far we are into home ownership, but how much further we have to go.
Yeah.
When I was, you have some screenshots there. If you want to put Hugo, put up slide one. The 78.7 million people own a home, but there's 122 million households.
Right. That's amazing.
So think about how many people we think.
There's a lot of people. There's a lot of people still renting.
Yeah.
So it says 44.1 million households rent their homes.
Wow.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
All that inventory that's out there. That's what jumped off the page to me was there are so many. Well, actually, what really jumped off the page, and this is where I need your help. 11% of the housing units are vacant. Does that
11% of the housing units are vacant. I'd have to look into that number. That's an interesting number.
Local.
Yeah. No, I got you.
This is on a.
That's interesting.
Here. So what are they doing with those?
Yeah, exactly. And my thing is too is we have a rent. Not only do we have a housing shortage, we have a rent shortage also. You know, and that's the thing is it's a double whammy. I think if we can actually get people to start, building more rental properties, like bigger properties. When we were down in Florida, Gary Keller was talking about this stuff, and his T-shirt said "Buy dirt." His big push right now is buy land.
Wow.
Or getting in a relationship as realtors with builders and developers and letting people that are willing to do development understand that this is a huge thing right now.
We need them.
We need them bad. And I think what happened is, you got to remember we talked about this in Florida. During 2005, 6, 7, and 8, we scared the bejesus out of these guys. We really did. We scared them like crazy because many builders went out of business. Many builders lost their homes. Many builders lost their businesses. So I think we have another graph coming up because you're getting really excited about something.
Yeah, because what you're saying is 2005, we had a huge spike.
So we're looking at a graph right now for those on the podcast. We're looking at a graph right now of homeowners versus renters.
Yeah, but this is showing that look at the home ownership how high it went from 95, 2000. That's that 2005, 7 that you were talking about.
Yep.
We were building like crazy. We were also giving out loans to people that could fog a mirror for $1 million.
Well, and that's the one thing that people get concerned about. The two things with that happened back then was, one, anybody that wanted a house could buy a house because you just basically had to have a pulse.
Yep.
If you had a pulse, you could get a house. Okay, and that was the one problem. And the prices had gotten so overinflated that people couldn't afford them. Okay, so what's interesting now, if we go and try to make it more affordable for everybody to buy a house or easier through programs and things like that, we don't have the inventory to supply it.
Right. And you're getting frustrated buyers.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's just putting everybody
it's just putting everybody in a bad mood. But the thing is, it will come back. We will get inventory. We need to buy dirt. We need to get people to buy ground.
That.
Yeah, his T-shirt said "Buy dirt."
Well, the famous Sopranos quote.
What is
Tony
that?
Said to his son, he said, "Buy dirt," or he said, "Buy land. They ain't making more of it."
That's so true. Very true. We know that. Earth's got what it's got, and that's it. So
that's good, though. I like that.
It is good. Yeah.
So we need to get in with builders.
Yeah, I think we need to encourage development as a county, as we also need to educate the politicians and stuff, because I think everybody needs to know that we need this. And the only way to get out of what we're in right now is to create more homes. You can't do it with what we have. It's just not going to happen. And maybe a lot of that 11% vacancy might be in the cities where there's a lot of homes that aren't livable.
That's a great call.
Yeah, if you think about it, I mean, that would be another way to go, is to start tearing down those that aren't livable and having developers come in and build those to something that's really livable and usable, and affordable. That would help supply the whole chain.
Yeah, and it would free up those, if they're making nicer homes, it would free up some of those other homes that could be sold.
But what are the objections that the city normally poses to tearing out
what
buildings?
was Redding's?
What are the objections of what? This is Hugo talking now. We got Hugo asking a question.
The city, sometimes when developers come and say, hey, can we tear this old building down? What are some of the objections that the city might raise?
Well, it depends. I mean, what happens there, Hugo, is you have to wait until that property is legally able to be torn down. If there's somebody that still owns it, you have to do what's called eminent domain. And eminent domain's not that easy. Eminent domain was supposed to be designed for the good of the public. So like if you're going to put up a church or a highway or something that's for the good of the community, well, you have to convince that you're able to take that. Would you want somebody taking your property and no matter what shape it's in?
If they gave you a nice check.
If they give you a nice check, but here, and they would, they have to give you compensation, just compensation for eminent domain. So, it's a whole thing. Then who has the money to give that just compensation? There has to be a program for that. Somebody has to pay for that.
Well, it's not only that, but remember what happened with Reading is the transfer tax.
Yeah, transfer taxes.
You're not going to get builders to go in when they're paying 2.5%, a total of 5% in transfer tax. I mean, it's just ridiculous. They can buy 3 other property. It's just
the only thing that would counteract that is hopefully they could get the property at such a great price that 2.5% wouldn't matter. As much, but you're right.
You would encourage more people to
actually, you're going to pay 1% both sides anyway, buyer and seller. Okay, you're going to pay 1%. So really, for the seller or for the builder, it would be a 1.5% difference. So that's transfer tax is definitely not a good thing. Not good for real estate.
It'd just be easier. I mean, I just think the more homes they can remodel and refresh in the city would be.
I agree. And so this is something we have to work on. And it's something we have to work on as a community. And I think, the first thing about any kind of change is being aware of what the problem is. And I think we know what the issues are. We just now have to come up with the ways to solve those issues.
Let's do it, Brad. Let's solve them.
Let's do it. Let's solve them. All right. So this show went in a completely different direction.
That was good.
We even got a question from Hugo for the first time ever, which is really nice.
Now,
nice
I
input.
have a question regarding mortgage, though.
Okay. Well, that'll be done. Are you going to do it now?
I can do it now or you can do it later.
Do it after the show because the ending music's already on and I can't stop it.
All right.
You're going to have to wear headphones, Hugo.
That's right.
All right. Thanks for coming out, Justin. I appreciate it. All right. There you have it. Boy, that went in weird directions, but cool directions. I love it. It was very organic. And so listen up next time. Justin will be on in a month or so, whatever it is. And Hugo's going to be here every time. So he'll be chiming in for different questions. And that's about it. Hope you listen next time. Thank you so much.